All right, what's going on? Weekly meeting screen share 5, 14, 20, 23. Man, time has flown by. Okay, so we did real well on this call, and it was just right place, right time. I saw this long wick, and immediately I'm thinking bear trap because you lost this level, right? And so this was a long wick reversal. Now remember, you have a long wick reversal here, but after the initial bounce, like it kind of fizzles out. Really, it formed, you can see the descending triangle here, right? And then it broke to the downside. But here you had one touch, two touch, one touch, two touch, three touch. Here's a wick right here. Here's this. So you had the benefit of a falling wedge and a long wick. So I said immediately jumped in, like look for some upside out of this, right? The indicators were perfect. And I'll post it in group. There's a bullish indicator idea where it shows all the indicators looking for upside. I'll repost that. But so we were looking for this move. This move wasn't very big, right? So again, you want to go to MEXC and use some leverage, try it out. This is only a 5% move. But if you use 10x leverage, you made 50%. If you made, 5x leverage, you made 25%. But it wasn't really about Bitcoin. It was about the altcoins. And it gave us a weekend of altcoin trading, right? Where you saw some upside. Now, understand this, that it's done. This is the 1 hour chart. It really doesn't matter, right? Who cares? It came up and it bearishly retested this breakdown, right? This is a key level right here, about 27,000, really 500. It bearishly retested this, right? But it's got some bears trapped because a bunch of people opened up shorts. So what can happen is you'll get, if you were to get a regain of this level, you'd end up with a short squeeze where people that are short will buy long Bitcoin to cover their losses on this short squeeze. So that they've got a short open and they're trying to just cover their losses. So they got two trades open at the same time, right? Next level, you're covering your losses with another trade. And so I talked to you guys about American football. Tom Brady doesn't go on the field with one plan in his mind and always call that play. He's going to see how the other players are set up. And this is the exact same idea. Like you have to see, well, what are they? And always look at this chart. Look at these charts in third person. What is everybody else thinking is going to happen here? Most traders are breakout traders. They're going to fall for, let me clean this up real quick. They're going to fall for all the fake outs. They're going to fall for all the, if buying breakouts, you wouldn't have known this would be a breakout, right? I mean, it would have been a breakout at this level. But with all these, you'll see you get these long wicks on top a lot, and they're just fake outs, right? You finally got a breakout of a very small pattern on a 1 hour kind of insignificant time frame. But again, money can be made here. The 2 hour time frame, and we're collecting data every single minute of every day. You had this double bottom right here. Then you had a higher low and a higher high. I called this bull trap. If you would have exited or shorted based on that idea, right, you would have made a lot of money on your short. I called this here short. I mean, it's bull trap. Bulls, as soon as bulls get trapped, they get punished. They got very punished here because you had a higher low. So this really tricked. Because see, you got your low, your high, then this is a higher low. And so everybody's thinking, okay, everybody went long here on the higher low. But then you get a double top. It topped here. And so it trapped a bunch of people got trapped. And that's why they got punished. Right? So you're thinking out loud and try to talk to yourself. What is everybody else doing right here? What did everybody else do on this move to the upside? They bought. As soon as it gets drugged back into the pattern, and once you get the bearish retest, kiss of death, downside. Right? This happened at the top. I called it. At the top, right here, bulls got trapped. Whenever the bulls get trapped, they get punished. I'm telling you guys, the win rate on this is insane. And indicators are one thing, patterns are one thing, but I'm telling you, these traps, I've never traded better in my life because these traps have such a high win rate. So that brings us to the idea here where you lost this key level, right? You lost this. Let me make sure settings are up. Settings are good. Okay, so you lost this key level, but so you had a double bottom, right? You had a big reversal. Right? Whenever the trend, imagine this. Imagine how many buyers it takes to reverse this huge downside, and then you double bottomed. Okay, so that makes it even more important. There's all kinds of support lines in here and resistance, but this reversed the entire trend on only a 2-hour chart. So it's not really, it's just a 2-hour. It's not really amazing. It's just kind of insignificant. But the moves start on the lower term timeframes. They have to carry over to the higher term timeframes to matter. Major macro. When I say macro level, that's what I'm talking about. Daily chart. We're going there next. So at this point, all you have is this bearish retest of this resistance. And that would be an indicator of downside. However, if the bulls are able to regain it, it'll be easier to see here. Then there's so much work for the bulls to do to regain this. And so are you going to get a bearish retest? Probabilities say that this thing bearishly retests and goes lower. Because there's so much. This is the floor, this is the floor, this is the floor. Right here is the floor, here's the floor. Look, this came all the way down here after this bull trap, long wick, came to here, right? Then it double bottomed, came to here, then it double topped, and just the downside on this level, this is interesting, is down in this area. So that's your measured move on your double top, right? So now the interesting thing is, even though you're leaning bearish retest, you've got this long wick. So that tells you there's a bunch of buyers right there. However, this pattern breakout downside gets confirmed on a rejection here. So Bitcoin has to come up here in the 27,500s and be stable and show volume. And you notice the volume on the weekend is nothing. There's no volume. These two candles don't even show up. Also notice that on this candle is bigger, and then this candle, volume candle, and this candle is even smaller. If you have falling volume on increasing or decreasing price, you're looking for a reversal. It works better on the lower term timeframes. Falling volume means that the volume's weaker, and if the price is moving down, then you're looking for a reversal. If the price is moving up, then you're looking for a reversal. Right? So falling volume, that's very important to understand. Like, there's so many little things that take some time. There's a learning curve to trading. So many little things that you can pick up on. The best trades happen at the last second for me, and that's why I jumped in on this and said, hey, immediately, and Trip was even helping out a lot with the group in announcements, and I saw it and I just ran to the computer and posted it. Possible bear trap. And so, are there enough bears here to cause a bullish breakout and completely drag this thing higher. So the idea is, plan B is, if you see a strong recovery, this is like hopium, right? Not count on it, hopium. If it were to flip like 27,500 strong, then it would negate the downside break of this pattern. Okay. And so it's an if-then statement. And you guys need to pay attention to this because it's going to set the tone for the next month or two. Now, US dollar. It doesn't, the correlation here between the dollar and stocks on a macro level, like this is a 2-hour time frame. Like it's not normally when the dollar is weak, dropping, when the dollar is weak, you get run-ups by Bitcoin, but not always. So let's go up here and let's add Bitcoin, USD, see what Bitcoin did with this price action. So not always. And so you see here that Bitcoin fell with the dollar, right? But here, Bitcoin, well, I mean, it really followed the dollar. And so it's not the correlation people try to use with the dollar, the DXY, is here it's inverse. Here it's inverse, right? The dollar dropped. And so it's so shaky. Like I don't trade stuff like this. I wait for traps. For me, like gap trading, I don't trade gaps. I've missed too many moves to the upside, waiting on gaps to fill lower, price lower. So like a lot of the ideas, like I've discounted in my head, and I'm just looking for traps. Patterns, obviously, divergence is important. I'm very selective. Once you get to a point, like you don't need to take very many risks because you have a ton of money. And so you're looking for safe trades. When you're first starting out, you have to take a little bit more, you have to take more risk because you need constant rewards. You need to build your backs. Once you get to a certain point, you know that after the Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin's going to take off. You can let your money sit in some coins and hold it and take profits. And that's an idea we'll go over when we get closer to the Bitcoin halving. Litecoin, there's a little bit of volume. So the problem with these trend lines when they're on an angle is you could have a trap up here. And if you get more touches here, like the trend line could be there. See this 1, 2, almost 3. Trend line could be there. So there's variables, and it changes on the time frames. Higher time frame, it's going to give you. So this is an 8-hour, and then you come here. So on the lower time frames, it looks like it's like where's the volume at? Like it's low volume weekend right now, right? So it could be here, but there's multiple. There's always multiple trend lines that you need to consider. And this one, we'll just make it dotted. The strongest trades, you'll use the most capital. I mean, when you have a very good idea on the trades, when you have the best confirmation, that's when you use larger amounts, right? And you don't go all in ever. And you take profits in percentages and you buy in percentages, period. This is not all or nothing. And remember, it only takes one coin. And for some of you guys, it might be as easy as finding one coin and holding it. Well, we'll know, like, there's going to be this AI is going to be just melt faces off in the future, right? And there's coins that don't even exist right now that will be 100x coins. Like, I introduced the group to Axie Infinity before it 130x'd. And so I'll try to find those coins. I've never been more driven to make you guys successful than ever. This keeps me going, making sure you guys freaking kill it. Because at the end of the day, just know I have plaques on my wall of everybody that's made life-changing money. My walls are covered in thank you DMs because that's what drives me. And so I want you guys to be very successful, and you'll get the same vibes from all the admins because we care. You won't find that anywhere else. Bitcoin dominance. So Litecoin, like I said, it's you've got another trend line. The question was about the Litecoin halving, and it's not as clear cut. Like Litecoin halving, I've already posted it in groups, so all you have to do is go in group and search Litecoin halving, and you'll see the previous charts, and it's not as clear cut as Bitcoin halving. But let volume be your guide, right? Let volume be your guide. Volume tells you what the rest of the market is thinking and doing. And if everybody else is buying something, they're confirming the idea is correct. So wait for the market to confirm with you the ideas being as being correct, and you'll have a much higher probability of success. Bitcoin dominance. And so what's been interesting is you've seen, so we don't, obviously when we see some price action, we don't know exactly what pattern is forming. We've been in a situation where you've got Bitcoin is only, okay, so this is real easy. This is based on percentages. 47% of the market cap of all of, you added up every single coin. And right now, Bitcoin only makes up 47% of all the coins added together. Previously, it was way down here at 39%. And when it double bottoms, when Bitcoin dominance takes off, a lot of times there's downside out of Bitcoin, but this is not, nothing is always. In percentages, there's a high win rate. When Bitcoin dominance takes off, a lot of times altcoins bleed. But we've had altcoins, Bitcoin dominance trending lower. And again, we've got quite a few touches on this upper trend line. So you're pretty certain about this upper trend line. But now it's, are you making a bull pennant? And this was just a bear trap. And again, you go to a higher time frame, and that's a wick. So you need to look at multiple time frames. Even here, don't exactly know about the is this making some kind of bull pennant? We don't know. The main thing is we understand that it's trending lower, and altcoins haven't been getting hit as hard as this thing was pumping. If this thing's pumping and Bitcoin's dropping, altcoins get wrecked. They get destroyed. But Bitcoin dominance has risen considerably. And there was a scenario where, I mean, so Binance had a ton of money to put in. Their BUSD has issues. Paxos has issues, and they said we're going to buy a lot of coins, Bitcoin included. And then you had the banks faltering. The Fed is continuing to raise the rates, which doesn't help the stock market. Stock market overall has been relatively, it changes. It changes. ES1 right now looks, do you have a double top? And this is one idea I was looking at previously. But again, there's so many ideas that it's overwhelming when you're new. And you can't digest all the information at the same time. And so focus on what works for you and just keep it simple. And practice with small amounts. Because your confidence will be reflected based on your win rate. And so we want to make sure you're in winning trades to build confidence. But you can't get overconfident because your emotions are going to tell you the wrong thing to do. If your emotions are greedy and you're like, dude, I got to buy this, I'm going to miss out. All those people that bought the top of Pepe, and it just nuked. Their emotions were telling them buy. And that brings everybody in the market. They buy Bitcoin. Everyone's going to be buying Bitcoin when it starts going up again. When it starts going up to crazy levels, they'll buy even more. It'll go up even faster. $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day. I mean, it gets insane. But then the altcoins come back and they follow, and you get the returns will not even make sense. So you can't judge your skill set based on tough trading conditions. But you just know that you've got a lot of new money that's going to enter this market. And they're not going to have a clue about taking profits. They're going to ride the bull run up, and they're not going to sell. They're just going to ride it all the way back down to the floor. And you have to take profits. Now, as a general idea, hopefully as a general idea, see if I can clear this thing up a little bit. I mean, technically this, just generally speaking, well, when do I take profits, Chris? If you take profits on lower highs, right? And so now listen, there's so many exceptions to this, but they're real easy. Well, they get real easy with experience. Experience is the best teacher. I recommend you watch all the training videos at least a couple times, 3 times. You're not going to begin to understand the stuff until the second time. And then the third time, you start to really get it. And then experience takes time, right? It's going to take you, you first enter this market, you probably bought high because you FOMO'd in. You did what your emotions told you. It takes a couple cycles, bull cycles. Doesn't even have to be massive bull run like the bull run. It takes a couple bull cycles, bear cycles to really experience the pain to know not to hold these coins on downtrends and to lock in profits. As an example though, when do I take profits? And I'll show you where it would have been wrong right here. Okay. I mean, barely on the 12-hour, you've got, I'm going to work with this one. So I don't think that's going to actually, let's trash it. Okay. And so this is tricky. This market's tricky. So always think they're trying to trick me. They're trying to take my money. Like write it down, put on a Post-it, write it on your wall, write it on your whiteboard. They're trying to trick you. Okay, and so this is going to go back to what I'm talking about on the current trading idea with Bitcoin. Don't even worry about what this is. It doesn't even matter what chart it is. But here you have a high and a lower high. So the lower high, that was a terrible, what is this, Chris? So you have a slightly lower high. Definitely you have a double top. And remember, Alt H will give you your horizontal lines, right? So you can go through and mark resistance pretty easy on this guy. Wherever you see, if you see a price change, here's clear bounce base, and it's a significant bounce. Like, you know, there's a bunch of buyers there loaded, ready to buy. So that's a significant level. Now, here, this, okay, so you've got a lower high. Lower highs for me are take profit ideas. This is a complete fake out. This is a bear trap. So because you had a double top, and then it really comes down here to the 200 and checks it and runs higher. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, this doesn't happen. This is a 12-hour chart, right? So you would have taken profits here. Okay, well, that's fine. You sold some, you took profits, you locked it in. And then this thing takes off. Well, it's not like this happened. This is a 12-hour chart. It's not like this happened in an hour, right? You can re-enter. Like, you have to be able to be flexible. We'll go back to the same play. Look how, here is how to confirm the fake out. Let me delete some of this nonsense. Okay, look, you lost this level. So here's your double top, right? Here's your double top. And like, so here's your high and the slightly lower high, and you're thinking, uh-oh. But you do have a falling wedge. But the falling wedge broke lower. And that means it went completely against everything. Like, this thing should completely tank. You're talking to yourself. Talk yourself through this. Tell yourself the story. Same story, I'm telling you. The price completely tanked. This double top, which was confirmed after a breakdown at this level, this thing is supposed to go down here, right? All the way down here. But as soon as you see the bullish retest of, this is a liquidity run, right? You see the double bottom right here? Now, this is a 1-hour chart. And like I said, it doesn't really matter, but the price changes start on the lower time frames. They don't always convert. You got a double bottom, and then you regain. Now listen, look, then you regain, and you bullishly, after a bull flag, you bullishly regain the level. That is your re-entry idea. This is a bear trap. The bears will get completely destroyed and punished. And then you have all this upside. So here we are. We don't know right now the extent of this bear trap, but they're definitely trapped. Bears are definitely trapped. Your ideas, because you lost major on the daily. You lost major support. Lost major support. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like, on the daily, there's like 7 or 8 instances, possibly more, that this was a key level. You lost it. So you have a downside bias. But what we just saw was, this is on the daily chart, so this means more important, larger moves, larger patterns. But you had this long wick, so you're like, bunch of buyers jumped in. Now, if you get rejected, You still have a downside bias right now because you already lost this level. But if it gets flipped, just like happened here, if it's a fake out, the bears will get punished. But you don't count on them ever. You react to them. Okay, so it's not about like I bought the bottom of the chart, but it's about you get bullish confirmation of a fake out, this thing goes a lot higher. Get rejected, it goes a lot lower. That is the most important thing you want to get from this video is we have a big test coming. It's not going to happen. Well, can't say not going to happen, but Sunday night, Monday morning, there's a lot of volatility. What I stopped myself from saying is it's not going to happen in one day. It could, actually. I mean, you could get a huge green candle, a huge red candle, right? Definitely possible. But just know that this right here is going to set the tone for the next month, potentially. So make sure over this, I mean, we get some sideways action here, today, and then futures are going to open in a little bit. They'll start to give us an idea, but if you see this level has already been bearishly retested, that's not good. But you could get a pattern down here, and that starts to give us more clues as to what's going to happen. Are you going to bounce again here? Because all of a sudden, this level is holding as support. But the bulls have so much to do, like ridiculous amounts to do. We saw how many this on the daily, this level right here, bearishly retested technically already. Bulls have so much to do in order for this to happen. But I just want you to know plan A, plan B, call the audible. Don't try to predict this price action. Just follow the plan. And it's going to change at the last minute, potentially. But you just have to focus on this idea so you don't get wrecked and you don't miss the move to the upside. You have plan A and plan B. And again, MEXC has given us a bunch of huge bonuses. A lot of people enjoy just trading on the smaller term time frames. And that's been real good too. But most people in the group are newer and like to hold coins. And if you've been holding a coin after a double top rejection, which was called as a bull trap, this was called as a bull trap, right? Bull trap. Bull traps are sell signals. Okay. The key here is the confirmation of the bear trap is what? It's right here. It's after you lose the level, you regain it, and then you bullishly retest it. So you lost the level, double bottomed, you regain the level. And so if a downside, well, I mean, I'm not going to even confuse you here, but just know that this bottom, and it completely took off. So it lost the key level, it regained it, and it bullishly retested it. The bulls won. And the bears got trapped here and they got punished. You see, I want you to understand that. So focus on the traps, focus on the long wicks, use the ideas that we talk about, make sure to watch the videos. Run through them real quick. Like Trips created very few videos, so it's a lot more concise. Well explained. Watch the videos. I'll keep you guys updated. Listen, we got a year and a half to make more money than we know what to do with. We're going to do it together. And I've never been so excited and ready to work harder than ever than I am right now. And so I love you guys. I appreciate all your support through everything. And I'm dragging you to the top, period. That's all there is to it. All right, I'll talk to you guys. Thank you so much. Sign up for MEXC, links in the description, and banging. I'm out.